Ross here in Dubai, so we had quite a lot of discussion regarding where we are going, and what is the future ahead. Gene, so sorry that you wasn't be able to attend, but guess what? Maybe we will come to Malta.
Great decision.
Do you like it? We don't hear you. By the way,
Gene, unmute yourself. But it is a great idea to come to Malta.
yes.
Yeah,
So
it's great. Malta welcomes you any day, anytime.
Perfect. Okay, so right now, so the people, if you are here and you are hear us very well, so please press 10 on a scale of 1 to 10. 10, you hear us very well. 1, please fix your mics. So 10, 11, 11, 10, great. Okay, I will not gonna keep our audience longer with this curiosity. Ross, I will give you the floor. Today, Ross and Gene will have so many things to share with us, and then at the end, I will do my part.
Okay, yeah, perfect. Thank you a lot, Armand, for your introduction, and it was great to meet you in person, and the global unit pay and the Coinset team in Dubai, by the way, for the second time, because first time we met, it was in Dubai as well, but last year, right? So it is a great place to be. And also, we're very excited about our today's webinar, because we're looking to share our project updates, discuss the future plans of their SOULB development, and share some insights about their trends, about the industry development and how people can benefit from it. Because in every webinar we are mentioning and we are broadcasting about important information about the education, how to use DeFi, why use DeFi, what will be the next trend, so people can understand what's going on and capture the moment that we currently see. And I am Ross, I'm the co-founder of Stobox Group, and also the Chief Operating Officer in Stobox and in SOULB as well. And today with me is my colleague, Gene. Gene, hi.
Hello, Ross. Thank you for the introduction. And again, probably most of you know already us, know what we do, but just to remind you, my name is Genie. I'm CEO of the company of Stobox Group, as well as the Soulbound ID. And for the past 5 years, almost, we are focusing on the subject of asset tokenization, building compliant infrastructure of the decentralized finance, which is in other words, DeFi. And we are building our products, and very soon we will update you with a very good news. So it will happen on this webinar. It will happen on this live stream, but a bit further down the road. So yes, we will definitely have something insightful to share with you. So let's move on.
Let's move on. Next slide, please.
Okay, if you, Ross, don't mind, let me go through what we're building. And basically, it's an ecosystem. But when we say an ecosystem, why we need this and what is the issue behind it? We all know that there is, for the last 10 years, the evolution of blockchain was tremendously successful. But at the same time, sorry, I have to mute myself. But at the same time, we know that there's a lot of friction. There's a lot of things happening on the market, in the blockchain space itself, in the crypto space. We see a lot of holds projects. We see a lot of a lot of things going on. But at the same time, because of that rapid development, we see how the market stabilizes, and by that I mean regulatory stabilizes. We see more and more governments adopting crypto. We see more and more institutions playing with crypto and adopting crypto and start working in the fields where we were 5 years ago, like tokenization. So that evolution needs a framing, and that evolution needs something that we're building. And we're building a compliant ecosystem where everyone, every business, any participant can benefit from tokenization. And it starts we evolutionally started with the Stobox DS dashboard. So what we do, we help businesses issue their securities, right? Security tokens, asset-backed token, revenue share tokens, any securities, issue on the blockchain. It's a very regulated thing. And we started with that product. We're quite successful because there's 16 clients are running on our SaaS solution, and there's another 50 to go on the different pipelines. So that's how we started. And then we introduced one of the first ones that introduced a secondary market as a DEX, decentralized secondary market for security tokens. And we're the first ones on the Binance Smart Chain, and we're one of the first one in the world introducing that decentralized exchange mechanism for security tokens. And probably most of you know us from the angle of the Soulbound ID, and that's the identity, because you can't even the life starts from the identity, in a sense that all these products are built for people. But how do you know in the blockchain space if this is a person or it's just a wallet, if it's a scammer, or this is, how would you differentiate? And we know how to differentiate, and that's why we use Soulbound ID. We build this, and again, stay with us. At the end of the webinar, we will update you with the Soulbound ID developments. And the last but not the least is the set of rules that are, because when we say regulations, it's not about the word, it's about set of laws, set of different jurisdictions, laws and practices. If that security token can be sold, can be bought, so all these different rules of transfership of these digital securities, they are here. They were in the market before the security were digital. Now they're digital, but the rules remain. So what we do is that we put these rules from the analog form, from the form of the paper-based, where the lawyers read the paper and they give you advice. That's good. But what we are now doing is that we're putting this into smart contracts, and this calls Progress Protocol. So all these four products or sub-products together, working together on the one engine, which is called an ecosystem, provides any business with the possibility of verified self. So we know that it's a compliant business. It's a decent company. It's not like another scam. We know that this company now can create a security token and distribute these digital securities via Stobox DS dashboard. They can trade it via Stobox DS swap, and everything that goes in a compliant manner, that we add on and pile on different regulations. And this is exactly what market needs, and this is exactly what we've been focusing for the last 5 years. But we will tell you more about what's going on with the world today, and then you would probably even more understand the importance of what we do at this very current moment. So Ross, please, I'm passing the mic to you.
Yeah, thank you. Exactly, Jim. Look, guys, listen, for the last 5 years, we're building a digital assets ecosystem, and we started this journey many years ago. Why? Because me, Jim, and Boris, we believed that tokenization is the future, and we as a company, we want to conduct our company operations in this way, through tokenization, right? And we are product-oriented companies, and we have a different approach. First we build, then we speak, right? I know that it is something new for the crypto world, because usually you speak and then you fundraise and you build, but we have a different approach, right? And for the last 5 years, we did what everybody was only speaking about, right? But we did it, and we created our product DS dashboard for the primary issuance and tokenized ourselves as our company because we believe in this concept. We created the venue for the secondary market, DS Swap. Once our clients successfully fundraise it, they can be listed on DS Swap for the secondary market. Why? Because we want to manage our company in this way, right? And currently, we are introducing the Soulbound ID that is in final stages of the development, and we are introducing in the future the Progress Protocol, which is under the development now. And for the last 5 years, we did too much. I mentioned it in every webinar. We conducted more than 60,000 hours of research of different nuances. We have the biggest YouTube channel in the world in respect of tokenization. We have our trusted, recognized partners as a SumSub, as a Blockstream, right? As a analysis.
Multiple.
Multiple, yeah. By the way, we have only their documents with Stobox achievements in A4 format for the 2 pages with all of the achievements that we did. And why we're building the ecosystem? For what? To be able to onboard companies. And you can see that currently tokenization is trending. And our main goal is to capture this moment, because now people understand why we started this business 5 years ago and for what. And it is our main purpose. That's why we're introducing the Soulbound ID, to be able to verify the person to enter our ecosystem, because we're building the ecosystem of digital assets, of securities, right? And people need to be compliant due to the laws. That's why we're building everything to be perfectly compliant and to be one of the first ecosystem in the world who has such products inside, under the hood. Next slide.
Next slide.
And look, guys, remember, me and Jean, we conducted more than 15 webinars, 15, right? 15 webinars with the crypto unit and Evorich community. And every time we mentioned in a slide of regulation, that regulation is coming, and regulation is very, very important. And currently, you can see the proofs for the last months that industry is evolving, right? For example, the CEO of BlackRock for the second time mentioned that the next generation of the markets is securities and tokenization. And BlackRock, it is the biggest investment fund in the world. And they says, forget about Bitcoin. The next trend, it is tokenization. But we as a Stobox, as a company, as a group of products, we are already 5 years on this market, talking about it every day. So it is a proof that tokenization is trending because big guys are entering. For example, JP Morgan that conducted the first transaction in DeFi, in decentralized finance. And remember what Jean and me mentioned every time: DeFi, decentralized finance. Finance means regulation. We will see in the upcoming months the regulation of DeFi industry, and we will see the big guys that are entering. And it happens right now in our news feeder, right? That you can track it. Do your own research. You can find all of the things online and be educated. And that's why we conducted these webinars, to help you to understand what's going on and to share our thoughts, how we see the future, so you can benefit from it. And also what we currently see, that PwC, it is top 4 consulting companies in the world, mentioned that they predict that tokenization industry by 2025 will reach 145 trillions of dollars. 145 trillions of dollars. In our last webinars, we showed you the graph that by the 2025, the market will be only 25 trillions. So it is in 10 times much more than we expected. What does it mean? It means that Stobox was very pessimistic and tokenization industry growing too fast, right? And it confirms our statistics, our internal research, that is tokenization is trending. Why it's trending? Because people want to play by their rules. And in security tokens, you have these rules, the securities laws, right? And companies can make sure that they playing a good game, right? And people can make sure, and investors, that it is not a scam, because if you make the scam, you go to the prison because it is a securities laws. That's why we see now a big development of this industry and the last news that we have. Gene, do you want to comment there?
Yes, I would love to comment. Guys, look, let's go through the main points that happened. We haven't been online with that kind of public webinar for some time. And within that time, what can we see? Credit Suisse, Silvergate, Silicon Valley banks collapse. Normal. Why? Good question. At the same time, look, I'm not sure, but some of you probably have seen how USDC, which is a stable coin, at some point at the price went down to 89 cents. And then it returned back. There's another pressure on Binance. There's another pressure on USDT. But what that pressure comes from? It comes from the regulations, from the auditing. Because if yesterday nobody cared what were the, insiding of these different stable coins, now they are started to be very much audited. The banks that they collapse, why do they collapse? At the same time, probably most of you already heard. If you haven't heard, that's a must for you to know about. CDBC, central bank decentralized currency. Every country in the world, every central bank in the world now has to, and already working on the different way of CDBC, own CDBCs. What does that mean? That some countries will already implement this in 2023 as something as US plans. Some countries have plans till 2025. But what does that CDBC? That's a crypto dollar. That's a cryptocurrency, like cryptocurrency, governmental currency. At the same time, look, BlackRock says that tokenization is the biggest trend. The crypto starts to tackle just in sun. If you look at this and you try to envision why is happening and what would be the consequences of that happening, the CDBC will start to prevail. Less cash in the world, more controllable finance. When we say so, we understand that all the stable coins will have to be audited, less pressure on the banks. So it's moving more towards DeFi, right? But that's what we've been saying, more on the DeFi, less to the banks, more to the decentralized system, where the CDBCs would be the main currencies. And then now you understand, but okay, there's a different companies in the world, right? The logic clicks. The ownership of that companies goes directly to that CDBC because that's how it works. That's an integral piece. And then when you look at these financial systems, which are on the blockchain, on the different blockchains, cross chains, you see, and you may audit every company that's on that rails. And it's now starting kind of to get obvious. We envision that. I can't say that we knew that. Nobody knows what's going to happen tomorrow. But we envision how the things evolve and may say that, okay, with some sort of percentage, this is the world we're going to live in. And I believe so, that within next few, 5 years, most of the companies or most financially attractive and successful companies will have to be tokenized because they're financed by the CDBC. They are on the crypto rails. It's easy to audit them. It's easy to manage them. So it's just a simple evolution. I mean, simple. It is a complex evolution, but I'm trying to explain you the simplicity of that. And this is what we've been talking for the last 5 years. So if you connect all this maybe not obvious bits and pieces into one form, you start to understand where the whole vehicle, the financial global vehicle, is going. And this is the way it is. Yes, Ross.
Yes, exactly. And what we can see, it is what we mention in every webinar, that regulation is here. You can see the just-in-Sun have a big pressure from the SEC. The Coinbase have the pressure from the SEC in respect of staking. The big pressure on the stable coins, on DeFi industry, everything that we discussed, everything is happening now. And what does it mean for us? What does it mean for SOULB? What does it mean for Stobox? It means that we have already built our ecosystem, and it is one of the first ecosystem of tokenized assets in the world that are ready of their implementation of CBDC, of regulation. And regulators are very happy with this. Why? Because we are compliant from day one, because our main purpose to be compliant and to be on the side of regulation. That's why it is positively affected and affecting our products. And we are fully self-custody. We do not hold any assets of our clients in tokenization products. And people now understand why it is valuable, why it is important. But it is the point.
Ross, thank you. What I want to mention is that probably most people, some people may not know, Justin Sun is the CEO, the founder of Tron Network. So if you're using USDC on the Tron network, basically using his technology, and the Coinbase is the biggest exchange in United States. And when we see that these big multi-billion companies are under the pressure because of the current affairs, and at the same time, Stobox has what, 2.5 million in a cap table of its utility token, you understand that something it's a big potential we're talking about. So on that, this is our market, and we're happy, to be here, because, meanwhile, those guys may be kind of refactored and life go differently for them. We've been in that direction for some time, and our capitalization is 100 times less than it's could be and it should be, and I guess one day will be. Yes, Ross.
Exactly. Thank you.
I would like to jump in, guys, because I have my opinion. All right.
Yes.
So may I?
Sure.
First of all, thank you so much for sharing all this important news. And I see here that a lot of people are following us and asking the question. And where is this, tiny line between today's reality and the future? Because we know today that there is a platform, it's called US Debt Clock Online, so where you can see that entire economy is all the time going down. And let me ask you this, guys, this question. If your company, Stobox company, every day is losing money, every single day for the constant, like 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, what you gonna do?
Unless we can print more.
Okay, so let's say, of course you can print, but if we are talking from the perspective of the entrepreneur, of the businessman, if I see my company every day losing money, so there is a P&L is all the time, getting bigger and bigger and bigger, what I will do, I will shut down my entire company, correct? I will fire everyone and I will shut it down. Otherwise, there's no point to do it. And what we see today, we see Credit Suisse, we see Silvergate, Silicon Valley Bank, and there will be more. Why they are getting into this situation? Why? Because the time is there. This is my opinion. The time came, and I see today that what we've been talking about, it's a security. So you have to be compliant. You have to be transparent. You have to be, hands up. You have to be clean in order for you to step into the new generation era. This is
Yes,
my
exactly.
opinion. And when you are showing all this, it's just like here inside, it's burning.
Yeah, look, it
I
happens.
know that we are like what, one millimeter away, 10 meters away from the new era. Guys, do you understand what I'm saying? If you understand, press plus. If you understand what we are here talking about, why we are partnering with the Stobox, why we choose these brilliant minds who are also 5 years like a round pegs. They are in a square hole. They are like they are not fitting in. Why they are not fitting in? Because they are standing out. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thank you, Armand.
You're
It's
very
how
right.
it works, because in banks, you have a lot of hidden fees and hidden operations under the hood that you cannot see. You have the complex agreement that you sign when you deposit the money, and that is, right? And I perfectly agree with you that the era is close to be done, right? And we will see the new cycle of DeFi instruments. Why? Because on the blockchain, you can build your own bank, perfectly transparent, with your deposit withdrawals, right? And you can manage it, and people will trust you because for their industry and for the full vehicle, banking vehicle that we have now, people losing the trust. That's why they taking away the money from the bank, and bank have no money to withdraw for the people. It's how it works.
And they're putting it to the Bitcoin. That's why
Exactly.
Bitcoin is growing and banks are not growing.
Yeah, that's why DeFi, tokenization, and blockchain, it all, in general, it is a new cycle of the development on financial instruments, because people starting believing in it, because you cannot avoid it on the blockchain, where every person can see what happened. Thank you, Armand.
Thank you. Let's move on. Ross?
Yeah, guys, so we discussed previously our products, and let's dive into the SOULB ID. And now we're introducing the Web3, our identities, our decentralized passports on the blockchain, right? Through the SOULB ID, where we in every webinar discussed. And very important that the SOULB ID product in April of 8th, right? So in the event of Evorich community physically in Vietnam, I will be there personally, right? And I'm very happy to meet you as well. And from the main stage, we will launch our product development that we worked for the last 3 months, and we will do our product live. And it will be a very important step for SOULB ID project. And by the way, we developed this product very fast, and we're going according to our roadmap that you can check in our every webinar. We are on track, and we are looking to release the product in Vietnam from the main stage. So it will be very, I'm personally will be very happy to see you there, to meet you there, to make the pictures, to share the insights from the main stage as well, and also release our product.
Congratulations. I would like to really, guys, tell you that in the time frame, with the resources and with that vision, so you really made an excellent job. And I wish that we will be able, with all our partners, to work that quickly.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Also, thank you, Ross, for that. Thank you, Armand. Let me also add that there's the identity part will be minted on the blockchain. It's everything secure. We're now working on the different bits and pieces of the technology to make sure there's no, there's no minor points. And first 42,000 people will enter Stobox ecosystem as potential investors with different opportunities, right? With the different investment opportunities. We're still working, and we will be working on the ecosystem part, but the identity part will be released, as Ross says, on 8th of April. And this is a big event for us because this is the third product that we'll launch. This is the first product that is as massive, right? As massive as from our experience. First products swap and dashboard were mainly focused on the B2B community, on the business, right? So they're the business, our users. And I've seen already the question from one of our listeners, how you guys making money? We provide securitization for the business, right? And that's why we sell our SaaS. We sell SaaS as a software as a service. We sell our expertise. We provide them with the software that we build. And this is how our clients' businesses enjoy tokenization. But it was for the B2B market mainly. Now we're entering the B2C, and it's thanks for the Evorich, Armans, and the partners that we are now able to onboard a lot of people to the product and unlock these possibilities that we're talking about for them and for many other thousands and hopefully millions of people tomorrow. Yeah,
exactly. And we are following our roadmap, following our promises and our speeches that we did in previous webinars, and looking to make the grand launch of the SOULB from Vietnam. So happy to see you there. Next slide, please.
Yes, let me just go through. I'm sure most of you have seen it, but just let me remind that this, what that SBID, what that identity gives you. First of all, it gives you an access to the Stobox ecosystem. And there's a plenty of different tokenized businesses, and we onboard new businesses. So one day there'll be a lot of great businesses on that ecosystem. So by having that, by having that access, you don't have to be verified 100 times. You don't need your data to be exported anywhere. You don't need to share passports. You don't need to travel anywhere to make investments. All this different lucrative business deal will be brought to you, and by just having that password, you can just select, choose, and buy and make your portfolio, make money, or sell if you don't like. And whatever it's done is done in a legally compliant access, right? So this is, again, this is a DeFi, decentralized finance, and that's an access for the regulated DeFi, I may say. Not many people understand today that all the swaps, all these different non-regulated crypto things will vanish one point. Remember, we have that opportunity to envision things. So we're not saying that they will fully vanish. We say that where it says finance, and we'll be talking about not the gaming, not the gambling, not the not the NFTs, but we'll be talking about the finance, right? The shares, the revenue shares, the ownership of the companies, or even USDC, and other stable coins. They have to be legally compliant. And this is, again, access to your legally compliancy. And again, I've already mentioned that it's a single entry. You sign in with Google and you sign in with Facebook, and you don't share your data. I mean, you do share your data, but you don't provide your email to different websites or applications because it's tracked from the Google itself. So it's just called a single entry, SSO. Think of this as a Web3 SSO. So your Soulbound ID, SBID, is a single entry to the world of compliant assets and tokenized assets. Next slide, please. Ross, would you like to speak on that?
Yes, guys. So look, in SOULB ID, right? Remember, we have two types of their tokens, right? The first one, it is the payment token SOULB that you can find in Coinset, right? And the second one, it is entity token, your passport, non-transferable token. So when you will be verified, you will have attached to your blockchain address the entity token that you is already verified, right? And you cannot transfer it, you cannot sell it because it is your passport with an encrypted information. And we have three types of their identity. It is personal investor, common investor, right, with a limit of $25,000. We have the second identity, it is personal plus, with the limits more than $25,000. And we have their third type of the identity only for accredited investors, only for professional investors, for example, from Europe, from Canada, from US. And once our platform will be live in the beginning of April from the main stage in Vietnam, you as a user will be able to log in through your email through which you participated in Coinset cabinet, right? And you'll be able with the same email log in to the SOULB product and start your verification processes to be verified, right? To receive then the entity token that you passed the verification and to be able to enter the ecosystem. And it will be done for the personal investors.
Yes. Next slide, please. And the same story with the companies, because when we speak about who are the participants of that ecosystem, we can basically identify two groups. That's people who invest and people who offer. And mostly people who offer are the companies, right? They're the issuers. So these are the companies that create a business, they introduce security token, and then they distribute these tokens between the investors, shareholders, and wherever they would like to. So it's not only the identities for the people, but it's also identities for the companies. And just think of this. Now you go to CoinMarketCap, you go to the DEX tools, you go to the different decentralized crypto projects. Do you know anything about them? I mean, top 10, probably, you know, probably some of you, if you're experts and you like this space, you can, you know, first 25, but there's already 100,000 tokens. Like, do you know all of them? And why would you? But would I invest into the company that has a good marketing and, you know, kind of flashy videos? I don't know. I've known nothing about the team. I've known nothing about their corporate structure. I've known no idea about their reporting. I know nothing. And I invest in them, and many people may invest in them. And one day I wake up in the morning and see zero at my balance, you know, they're lost. And I don't know, like, how many people face that, but I've seen that many, many times. And in crypto, like, you see more of these cases than you see a good cases. You see more of a fraud in general in the amounts of times than you see a good potential projects, because that happened for the last 10 years. By having this corporate verification, you know that this business has been verified, not by me, not by Ross, not by you. It's not about us. It's about the special verifiers, right? Special audit companies. And for that token, a business pays $2,000, $3,000, $5,000. Why? Because they buy compliancy and trust. You spend $10,000 on the marketing. That's great. Spend $5 on the audit and provide investors the trust that you are not a one-day scam business. Provide UBO says unified beneficiary owner. That company, does that belong to people or to, you know, to whom it belongs? So by having this, we basically try to prevent fraud, not on our investment level, on our infrastructure level, because then you guys, and there's another thousands of people, will join Stobox ecosystem, and the companies will join Stobox ecosystem, and you will know that these companies are verified. And it doesn't, I'm not saying that they have to be profitable. That's another story, that's a business model. But at least we know that these are the people, they are trustworthy, they are public, and something goes wrong, we still know who they are, and we have the ability to pass that information. And the same way from companies to investors, because companies don't know who are the investors in the crypto. But with Stobox ecosystem, nobody knows who is who. But by having this token, there is the ultimate trust in this corporation. And we don't hold the data. It's the KYC and the KYB providers that hold the data. And we just provide the network for that thing to be manageable. So we're just bringing, you know, more transparency. That's the word that we say. It's more transparency, more trustfulness, and less fraud within that ecosystem. So that's exactly why we are started the SOULB, to make sure the crypto space and the security space meets the expectations of both issuers and investors. Next slide, please. Ross, would you like to speak on that? But that's kind of easy.
Yes, guys. So it is the supported blockchains that will be in SOULB product. We are starting from the Binance, but we will support also the Ethereum, the Polygon, the Avalanche, their Metis blockchain, that is one of our partners founded by Vitalik Buterin's mom, and Liquid Network that is founded and created by Blockstream, with whom we recently partnered. So it will be their supported blockchains in the future, where it will be able to mint, to create their entity token and to verify their identity and to verify your wallet to be able to use it inside the Stobox ecosystem. And also, we will add more chains of our partners from our network of partners that I will mention later then, because I have a lot of strong connection from the ABC Summit that is also committed to be in our ecosystem.
Let me also add, it's an important point, that it's not 100% set, but 99% is that the token of the Evorich will be minted, issued on the Binance smart chain. So therefore, the first network that we're gonna be supporting from the 8th of April would be BSC, Binance. So the first network. You see them 6 of those right here. The first would be Binance. The second would be Ethereum. Why? Because Stobox security tokens, our security tokens, and the several tokens of our clients are on Ethereum. So that would be the next network that we're going to support. The third network, and we will see down the road, I'm not going to say that's a long roadmap, but there would be a week or 2 weeks distance between introducing the networks, right? So the first Binance, and then 2 weeks Ethereum, and then 2 weeks Polygon and Avalanche, and then Metis. So within a month and a half, we hopefully we will introduce all the important networks on the SOULB ID. And again, you have to verify your identity KYC only once, and then we will show you on the product, on the UX. Then you can mint this token on the Binance Smart Chain. Then you want to mint this token on another wallet, for example, of the Binance blockchain. You kind of deactivate and activate on another wallet. Or if you want to mint on the Ethereum and be a part of a Stobox fundraising, then you create the same token on the Ethereum network. So it's a very useful thing. You can have different networks, different assets. There's only one wallet that you have because it's how it works. You can't have many wallets with the different identities. You have one wallet with one identity, but on the multiple chains. And yeah, that's how we start. So for you to remember that we're starting with the Binance Smart Chain, where the mostly the average security token would be minted. Yes, thank you.
Yes, thank you. Next slide, please. And now we have in our pipeline 2 tokens, right? The SOULB token as a native token of our ecosystem of SOULB that is available in Coinset. And in the future, in a few months, we will release their security token of a SOULB project, right? And people will be able to convert their utility token, payment token of the SOULB that you can participate in Coinset to their security token of their SOULB company. And also I see the question that I answered in the Q&A box about the Stobox STO and about the connection to SOULB. Look, guys, what we mention in every webinar, that SOULB ID, it is sub-project and sub-product of the Stobox ecosystem, right? But SOULB itself and Stobox, it is a different companies. So the SOULB project will have its own STO that you can see on this slide that I mentioned in a few months, right? Where people will be able to convert utility token to SOULB. But their STO of Stobox and STO of SOULB, it is two different STOs. It is a products and companies inside the Stobox group, right? But it is not the same STOs. And it is very important to understand. And I see the question, so who owns the SOULB? We own the SOULB and Stobox owns the SOULB, right? But it is two different companies and it is two different products. Next slide, please. And now it is, you can see the schedule of their rounds. We have closed the private sale phase 1. Currently, it is ongoing private sale phase 2. And in the future, we will launch the public round of their SOULB in the other venues. Next slide, please.
Let me just get back to this slide, please. One slide back, guys. I want to answer a question that people are asking here. Is like sales are slow, SOULB is not interested. Guys, I would like to direct this message to you exactly who is asking this question. We have to appreciate that Stobox is giving us privilege to be on the pre-sale of this product. Hear me out, everyone. So right now, don't write any questions because you are asking all the time same question. We managed to negotiate win-win strategy in order for you, everyone, like all the people who are right now listening this webinar, who will be watching this webinar in the replay, we as a Evorich company agreed collaborating together with the Stobox to give you the first access to the Soulbound. If you will ask me, would there be demand for this token? Yes, of course. You know why? Because as an investor, I'm looking for two things. First, what the company is doing. Second thing, who is the team? So you see team here. Boris is not here, unfortunately, so he has probably a lot of things to do, right? But this is the first thing. And the second thing, who they are working with. They are working with very big companies. They have already today more than 50 companies who are waiting and begging them, asking hey, Ross, hey, Gene, when you will have a time for you to tokenize our business? These all these companies, they will be needing this Soulbound token. Am I right, guys? They will be coming to us and saying, hey, guys, we want to buy SOULB token. Where is it?
Yeah, it is, because all of the clients that will launch the STO in the future will need to have the SOULB ID. Imagine, I'm the real estate from US, and I will start my STO with a Stobox in 3 months. And I'm expecting to have, for example, 5,000 investors that will be in my dashboard. What does it mean? That all of these 5,000 investors need to have SOULB to enter his STO, because people need to be verified. It means that with every next project that will be tokenized, all of these investors who will participate around the world will need to have their SOULB ID and will need to purchase it. to be able to enter the ecosystem. And now
Perfect.
you are the first one who will be able to enter it.
Exactly. So we have a privilege.
Exactly.
Thank you so much for this. The second thing, answering these questions, I will not going to say, I will not going to swear here, but answering these questions every single day. So I will encourage every single one of you, go right now to the Stobox.io, go there, check what companies they already tokenized, who already are tokenized, how many companies they already have who use their services. Check how many other companies they have. Check with whom they are partnering today. Ross already mentioned Vitalik Buterin's Moms and Metis company. Don't you even read about what is Metis? Because the questions that you are asking in private, in the Q&A section, this means that you never ever even to check up what, like, who is partnering and what kind of companies are there. Please check it, guys. And the last thing, even if we will not gonna sell today any soulbound token in our ecosystem, it doesn't mean anything that the guys will not accomplish their job, because the soulbound private sale round 1 is already gone. And there will be a day when they will announce and say, guys, we are going public. Sorry, we can't anymore sell in your community only. Then you will be understanding what and why we are talking here.
Exactly. You're
Does
right.
it make sense? Please press on the scale 1 to 10. Does it make sense? 1, totally no sense at all. Like, I don't understand what you're talking about. 10, I fully understand. 20, really, Tom, you will be the first who will do the next webinar.
Chance, I also would like to add something, and it's not just about the new companies that would tokenize with us. Look, regulations are, again, the same story, different day. Regulations are coming, and look, Metis, for example, a great blockchain, level 2, all good. On that Metis, they have already built an ecosystem of the DeFi products. Answer me, how would they become compliant in one day? I will tell you. I will tell you. By using our API, by installing our library in the front end and using our API. And this is why we say that there is a Soulbound will be on the SBIDs, will be on Metis, and on any other blockchain that would like to be compliant, because we are blockchain agnostic. And besides of the clients that we tokenize, that goes on rational speed, and then with adoption, think of the existing market. It's already a multi-trillion-dollar market with the different assets that are being played around without, I wouldn't say a zero compliance. I would say 0.5% compliance, right? There's a bit of a compliance in that field. But what's going to be with other? There's a Metis, there's a Buba network, there's a Binance network, there's another tens of networks. And their regulator will come one day and say, okay, guys, this is not a decentralized business. We know this is person X, person B. You have to shut your business unless you're regulated, or unless you provide at least AML KYC on the blockchain, right? At least that. And they say, we can't, we never thought of this. But what would be the solution? 3 days. Come to us, in 3 days, you are compliant. It's starting from 8th of April. It's not starting every blockchain can be compliant from April 8th. Come to us. So that's.
And I would like to also add, guys, this is not just like there are people who are saying, oh, probably I have to buy more. Think about this in a different way. If you will have today Bitcoin at the price of the $1, to whom you will sell it? how you will make a margin, how you will make a money. If you will go around and say, hey, listen, I have a Bitcoin for $20,000, who want to buy? The same with the Soulbound. This tool, where this product was created for you, in order for you to show, hey, listen, guys, have you seen the latest news? Go back to that. Like, I'm not requesting you to go back to the slide, but I'm saying that take this recorded webinar, go back to the slide where Gene explained about the news, the global news, market news, that everyone is affected. People lost, like biggest companies lost all their assets because they were holding them in a bank. Do you understand what's happening? Like biggest companies who always, I seen the meme, you know, like there was a guy who is checking, invest, like to put the money into the Bitcoin or to put the money in a bank. And it's written scam, like which is a scam. So today, obviously, the banks is a scam. Because Bitcoin, everyone is talking that it's a scam. The crypto is a scam. Everyone is talking about that. But look, like if we will take the time frame 3-5 years, then we see that it's always in a positive. And all the banks who've been always against it, they're right now going negative. That's why please use this. Use this as a tool for you to be able to make a business out of that. This is amazing, great product in our ecosystem that you can start to sell. Sorry.
Thank you. Next slide, please.
Exactly, Armand, you're perfectly right. It is so. That's why we're sharing our thoughts, and we created a slide with the recent news to help people understand what is going on and how can people benefit from it. So thank you for your speech. So in this slide, you can see their cell distribution packages of the second round. We have very democratic packages starting from the $10 to $15,000, and more packages you buy, more tokens you will get. That's you can find in their Coinset infrastructure in Coinset cabinet through your referral link. Next slide, please. It is our roadmap that we have shown in our every webinar. And by the way, from our last webinars, I have changed nothing. Why? Because we're going according to our roadmap. So you can see that in the March 2023, we are getting ready the Soulbound ID website and the private round phase 2. And currently our website under the development, under the maintenance, right? And we are in the process, and it will be finalized by the day of the day. And also I have already participated in Sigma Dubai conference in person, where Stobox were invited to participate as an exhibitor. We were rewarded as one of the most promising startup of the year, top 5 of the year. I was invited to be one of the leading speaker and mentor at ABC Hackathon for the young businesses and businessmen who are running their business. I will be able to share my vision, my thoughts, my experience that I get for the last 5 years fighting in the tokenization industry. And I'm sure that it will be useful for them. And it is also the big honor for myself. And in ABC, of course, we met Mila, we met Armand, we had a very efficient discussion in respect of their STO, Global Portfolio Fund, FinTech STO, right? And also in Sigma ABC, I met our partners and resumed communication with Boba Network, because I met the founder of Boba Network around 1 year ago, and I know him personally, about the potential cooperation with SOULB. So that's why in a slide with supported blockchain, I mentioned that we will extend this amount. And we currently, after the ABC, already conducted the communication with them, with Boba Network, and we are in the process of integration, communication, to be able to mint token on their network as well. And it is also one of the biggest blockchain with a TVL, one of the biggest TVL in DeFi industry. And Boba Network has a very strong marketing team and strong development team that is building ecosystem. The Boba network, it is layer 2 of the Ethereum. Also, I met our friends, our partners, have conducted the connection with the venture VCs funds that will be able to support our clients who will do the tokenization with us. So it was very efficient time, and it was a great conference, many new people, many new connections, and it was a great time for Stobox and for our awareness about the Stobox ecosystem, about the SOULB ID. I met the Felix Mago, it is co-founder of Dash, and Dash, it is a big recognized cryptocurrency, and we know him very well. So it was a great time to show what we have. And fortunately for us, we have a lot of products and we have a lot of achievements, and such venues as ABC Summit positively affected our business, because it is the place where we can show what we did and meet our new clients and new partners. So it was a great time. You can check in our blog the report from the ABC Summit with the photos, with Armand, with Tim, etc. And you can find out this in a text form, what I have discussed. But it was a great time there. And as I mentioned, because I also see this question in their Q&A box, the main launch of the SOULB ID product will be from the main stage in Vietnam in April 8th, in a few weeks. So based on the community request and based on their leaders' decision, we decided to make this fancy launch, grand pre-launch from their Vietnam, from the main stage, where I will participate in a person and also will have my speech there. Gene, do you have any comments?
No, guys, I don't have any comments. I think this, first of all, is good that we are keeping on the, I mean, that's objectively good that we are keeping on track. We you know, we're always frank, and we're always, you know, say what it is, and it's okay that if something, you know, is being delayed, it's not because we want, just because the obstacles say so. But I just want to say thanks for the team, and it's just objectively good that we're keeping up with that speed that we initially set up. So yes, on April we will launch the product first version, and then it will be on the Vietnam. And once it's done, we will go down with the DAO. We will go with the other SBIDs as the corporates. And again, this is not the only part. This is just the part of the ecosystem, because the other part that we're also focusing on is the third 3.11 version of the dashboard. We have to rehash and update the DS swap, because now the DS swap has to work automatically because you have a SOULB ID, right? So now you don't have a SOULB ID, and it's not integrated with the SOULB, but now we're gonna take the SOULB and integrate it to every single product of us, and this is another big milestone. So I'm happy that we go. It's a bit of a challenging. Again, it's not something that you can open up a book and say, okay, guys, there's 100 of examples how people do it, and we're gonna do the same. No, we don't have that. We don't have a handy book. What we do for the first time. We invent a lot of things. We criticize these processes. We envision certain things. We risk on the technical level, on the business development level. But that's, that's part of the game. And this is why that's why in the top companies of the world today, what are the richest companies? Technological companies. There's you don't see no more oil. You don't see no more gas. You don't see anything from the top big richest company. The richest guy, who? Elon Musk. Why? Because he comes from the tech world, right? He takes the old car and makes a Tesla out of it. He takes the old money and makes a PayPal out of it. It takes an old way of sending rockets, and he upgrades that with the AI. So it's a technical company. So of course there's a lot of risk involved. There's a lot of pressure, but the game worth it, and we're part of it. So yes, that's why we're keeping on with the roadmap. Thank you, Ross.
Yeah, thank you, guys. Next slide, please. So, to sum up what we discussed, right? What we currently see, the adoption of the crypto assets, of the blockchain products, it is currently trending, and as a result, their adoption of CBDCs, central bank digital currencies, right? And we see this new cycle of adoption, and CBDC is this cycle of adoption, because now the governments around the world in a few months will be able to issue their own currency on the blockchain, right? And of course, it will be the competitors to existing stable coins like USDC, USDT, BUSD. That's why logically, right, we see a big pressure to them at this time. And you need to understand it and keep your eyes on it and to do your own research and understand what does it mean for you. Because in US, they are already implemented and getting ready to launch the CBDC. In China, they are already ready and will be ready soon to launch their CBDC. Also, United Arab Emirates and Indian government make the MOU to create their own CBDC to be able to provide for people from the Arab Emirates sending money to the people in India and vice versa through their CBDC. So it is a big trend now. Of course, the DeFi regulation, it is what we in every webinar 10 times we mentioned that regulation is coming coming to DeFi, coming to the crypto. We see a big adoption, and in a few months you currently see and you will see more and more news with the pressure to their venues, to the bridges, to the DEXs, to their person who created the project, like Justin Sun, who created the Tron blockchain and who owns the Huobi exchange, right? Like Coinbase, that currently facing a big trouble with SEC in respect of staking, like Kraken, that already received the penalty from the SEC for $30 million of their staking program. So more and more news will come, and you need to understand what's going on and how you can benefit from it. And of course, tokenization. As we mentioned, BlackRock mentioning about it, that they see a new cycle, not in Bitcoin, but in tokenization. It is old money style, right? JP Morgan that is entering, Bitfinex that are entering, but we are here 5 years before them. We know this game, right? And we're building one of the first ecosystem for tokenized assets and for digital assets in a compliant way, where it will be perfectly compliant self-custody and where people can interact. And of course, the soul-bound tokens itself, right? A few weeks ago, I saw that Deutsche Bank implemented a SOULB technology of soul-bound tokens as a class for their own internal ecosystem and products, right? Binance already implemented SOULB under the hood, right? In their products. They're not, of course, competitors to SOULB ID, but it shows their proof of concept and that the big guys are entering as well. And also you can do your own research of the cases with the soul-bound technology, as I mentioned, with Deutsche Bank, with the Binance, to understand the technology on top of what we are building the SOULB ID, right? But it is also a new trend of the development. And of course, in tokenization industry, because it is a very huge industry, it is a significant huge industry, as we see for the hundreds of trillions of dollars. It is a lot of money. For example, the USA has the around 10 trillions annually, right? It is in annual basis, but we're talking like about the 10 USA countries that could be tokenized, and it is a lot of industries. That's why we will see a new protocols, we will see a new application, and what we currently working on, as we mentioned in our last webinars, it is auto deployment process where, for example, I am the businessman, right? I want to do the STO. What I do? I go to SOULB. First of all, I verify it myself, right, to be compliant, and then only after the SOULB verification, I will be able to create my own STO of my own company. Why? Because I'm already verified, I'm already compliant, and we will do the auto deployment of our products. So I am, as a common person, can sit in one evening and install our products like Windows 95, right? But it will be available only after the person can getting the SOULB ID. And also a big concept of the tokenization of personal securities, of the influencers, of the leaders, of the community. So there are a lot of new industries and a lot of new vehicles how it could be done. And in the upcoming years, we will see more and more adoption of tokenization, because we just in the beginning. It is just started. It is just started, and it will be for the decades, right? Because as we spoke in our interview in Stobox YouTube channel with ex-senior legal counsel in SEC, Security and Exchange Commission, it was around 2 years ago. And at that time, they mentioned that every financial instrument in the upcoming future will be tokenized. And I agree with this concept because it is more secure, it is more resilient, it is more transparent, and it is like the new era of their development of their financial industry itself. And we will see it in the upcoming future. Gene,
Quick
do you have
question.
any?
Absolutely.
Quick question, guys, to
Please.
both of you. You mentioned that under the hood, Binance is using SOULB.
Yes.
Do they sell? Is it possible for someone to
No.
buy the token?
No.
So
No.
that means that again, we have another proof of exclusivity.
Exactly.
You get it?
So
Yep.
yeah, so Binance and Deutsche Bank, they are using this technology internal under the hood that you cannot see and cannot participate. They entering the ecosystem and understand how it works. But in SOULB, we already implemented this technology and will release our product in the beginning of April in Vietnam.
Yeah, first phase.
Perfect.
First
So
phase is coming.
let's move further.
Yes, next slide, please. Yes, and thank you.
No. This is
This is not the
not
thing.
about the next slide. Moving further means it means like guys. So we already finished with stage 1. Stage 2. The people are asking here like when we are planning, let's say, to have a stage 2. I believe that, in my opinion, we can provide this answer in Vietnam from the main stage, like Ross said, because I believe that there will be some inside information that Ross is preparing. But can you guys just give a little hint for, let's say, period of till the end of the year? What is your focus and what is your aim and what is your ideal result till the end of the year?
That's a very good question. The ideal result would be the following. Most businesses have no idea about regulations. When I was talking, we were talking about Reg D, Reg S, 506C rules, MiFID, FINMA, and all these different abbreviations. People think that I know I can no longer speak English. I'm just giving that different abbreviations, and they're just like, what is this? And most of the people have that feeling. But this is exactly what we are enforcing with the ecosystem. So the big plan is to implement the regulations within the ecosystem itself. And that's a progress. That's a progress protocol. So people don't need to think. I not even need to hear from me that different abbreviations. They just want to say, okay, this is my bar. I want to tokenize 20% of the revenue, and I want to offer that to every British pub, beer lover that comes to Malta. That's it, full stop. The system has to adopt that. It should know that you are LLC, the private business from Malta, and you're a decent business, and it creates a revenue share token that is structured as the corporate security that has to be sold under the MiFID standards. The offering is less than 300,000. All that's different stuff. The barman doesn't need to know, and this is the glass ceiling. This is why most of the businesses can go on a different rails, because the motivation of people is to remain enjoying what they what they're doing on every day. Not many people want to jump off their shoes and trying to learn regulations. Not many people are crazy like this, but they want to enjoy this. And this is our job, is to bring that enjoyment for them in a full simple manner. This is the first thing. The second thing is, of course, we want more users for the SOULB ID, of course, because look, guys, it's not just we all want it, because more users we have, better the price or high the price of the token, and there's more demand for our product. So it's simple. When 100 people know about Bitcoin, the price of the Bitcoin was less than $1. Now there's a millions now, and there's still it's a different price. Once there will be token holders of Bitcoin of 100 million people, the price would be inevitably high. That's I'm sure you all understand. And so that's from the adoption side. And the other thing, it is very important that we want to introduce, as we mentioned that before, are personal securities. Because look, businesses are good, but you have to open a business. You have to have a business plan. That's how this world exists from the business perspective, or existed. Because what you see now, look at the AI, look at the ChatGPT, look at the different stuff you can now make by yourself, like literally a self-managed business, self-managed person. You don't need to go and open up a company and frame yourself as the corporate. If you're a simple person, why would you? But you want to, again, tokenize your time, tokenize your attention, offer. I'm an influencer. I'm just starting to be an influencer. I create good content. I need $10,000 to buy the marketing and to fly around and with my mic and to speak to other people. I have a million. I'll speak well, and I will have 1 million users and my 1 million followers. And the big companies will be playing me an ad for for the marketing, but not today, in a year's time. So why don't I just simply tokenize that part of my future business as a person, right? Not as the big business, and say, look, I'm an influencer. I will pay every dollar from every 10 cents from the dollar that I get. And I think I need $10,000. And you guys may like this. And imagine, we're not just talking about the companies, we're talking about the friction of the people. So there's millions of people maybe starting to tokenize their abilities and offer abilities to their local communities. So, friends, family, their school friends, and once they go on the YouTube, they become more public. That creates additional income for the first people who invested. And we're not talking about millions, come on. $10,000 may change a person's life now, like literally change life from the education perspective, from moving from a depressed region to a more prosperous region. You know, people are moving from wars, people moving from the disasters, but they don't have cash, but they might be talented. So it's not about like everybody has to be tokenized. It's about the opportunity that now people can leverage this and use this for the benefit for their, you know, for themselves, for the, and this is again the new era. That's what we're talking about. So that would be the third and probably the best achievements that we possibly can get.
Jin told all of the secrets.
And that's also right, because look, who would you trust? Like, would you trust an email saying that I need money? Come on, we've been there, right? It's not gonna work this way. But if you are social, if you're on YouTube, for example, and you say, look, guys, I'm verified, I'm with the SOULB ID, right? You go on his address, it's exactly as it is. You go on the system, you're verified this person, and he creates these tokens which are on the Stobox ecosystem under the personal securities, you know, tab. And you say, this is a person, okay, he would, why don't I just throw $50 and see if I can make, you know, 100x if he becomes an influencer. And then I become an investor into people, not into one big company or the bank that tomorrow bankrupt. I doubt that 100 people. I think that's the best portfolio, I mean, in the long run, because you don't need the corporate or the tax or all that, you know, all that virtual stuff. You can invest directly into people, because people are the beneficiaries of the companies, not the companies are the beneficiaries.
Imagine if 5 years ago, you will be issuing you a token and say, hey guys, I'm going to do STO platform where we will implement all these things that you're talking, and I will be the first one who will invest in you. So my outcome will be quite good. But the reason why I was asking you this question is because, and Ross, I will give the word to you as well. Did you guys remember all the participants, all our partners? Did you remember that our CEO Andrei Havratov was talking about this, but in a different form? He was talking about the new economic evolution of the world, where every single person will be actually utilizing, using, and collaborating and partnering with everyone who will be in this ecosystem. And this is the one of the answer that Jane just gave you, but I hope that you will hear it, because I want to point out the reason why we married with this company is because the philosophy is the similar that we have. When me and Mila, we met Gene and Ross first time in Dubai, and when we start to talk about what we are going to do, what is our vision, and they said, hey, you will be surprised, because this is what we are doing as well, but we are doing from the technical side and you are doing from the network side. Let's do it together.
Thank you very much, guys.
You,
I'm not sure about the timing, but I have to rush because I have a very important call in 5 minutes. Yeah, in 5 minutes.
Sure, you can go. So yes. Ross, last words from you. Thank you, Gene. Thanks so much. And
thank you very much, all of you. Thank you, the participants, for listening. It's been a while, and it's a lot of the digestion to make, but there's only simple actions to do. So stay with us. Thank you.
Thank you, Armand, for your energy, and thank you for being with us today. I'm sure that it was a great webinar, and we shared a lot of insights and a lot of new piece of context and new piece of content about what's going on and what will be in the future. And also, I want to thank you for all of the participants for the support. And I'm very excited that we going according to our roadmap, and we'll be happy to meet you in Vietnam. Of course, I will meet their Armands and the Coinset and Evorich team, and we'll be happy to see you there. And very excited to launch the SOULB and to go step by step, look, guys, it is a long journey. We are already 5 years in this market and will be for the decades, right? For the next decades. So it is a long journey, and it is great that we can go step by step, because you have the opportunity cost. You cannot do everything at the same time. And very important to have this strong vision that Jin has, Stobox has, Armand has, SOULB has, to be able to go step by step, to see the trends and to capture the moment, because I'm sure that Armand is familiar with this concept that 50% of your success, it is the momentum, right? To be in the right place in the right time. And through our vision and through our paradigm, it is very important to bridge it and to be there in this moment. And it is great that we go in contract.
And with the right people, Ross, because you can be with the right product, the right moment, but if you have wrong people, if you are like if you can't trust each other, then whatever you have, you can have a gold in your hands and you will lose it. So that's why we have great team, we have community, we have our co-owners, we have our partners, we have our family here. And I know for sure that on the 8th of April in Vietnam, when we will be on the stage, we will share all the things. One of the things that I'm bringing, guys, it will be all the detailed information about our businesses, with the proof, with the documents, plus we will share what are already, let's say, in the process that we unfortunately are not able right now to share with masses online. We are just going to like give you some hints in order for you to understand where to shoot. But the reason why offline events are good, because that is the place where you can be fully transparent, fully open, and you know that all these people there, they deserve to know all the detailed information. And this is also the reason why we are not able to do online, because you never know who will be joining online, what they will be using those documents and proofs, what they will be using for. So this is another reason why we time after time have to do this kind of let's say offline meetings. Okay. And also good thing is that if you follow my social media, and I would definitely encourage you to follow Gene and Ross, because these guys are all the time updating and posting the information that you need to know in order for you to be able and capable to sell the product that we have in our back office. But for your information, I will be going to China. I was invited to China by one of very, I would say, high-level person. I will reveal the person's name and his title once I will be in China, when no obstacles will be, let's say, separating us. And please keep tuned, and I'll definitely update you from there what's going on. Okay? Thank you so much.
Armand.
Thank you, Ross. And
thank you, guys.
See you next time.
Thank you, guys. Have a great week and have a great day. Bye-bye.